everyone. I'm really thirsty, so I'm gonna take a drink. I just got this water bottle. It's super cute. I'm not like being paid to talk about it. I'm just excited. I've realized that I don't drink enough water. But I used to use like a smaller water bottle, and the goal would be like I need to drink four to six of these a day, and I'd kind of drink one. I know, it's really bad. But I came to realize that the reason I would only drink one is because my brain was like, oh, it's been filled up. I just have to, empty it and I'll be done. It'll be great. So I got myself a giant water bottle that I only have to drink one of, and it's worked wonders. It's great. Now I'm drinking enough water, and I don't feel like I'm gonna die all the time. So drink water, guys. Let's see. Well, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a come build with me video. So grab whatever hobby you want to work on, if you want to build something in The Sims, or maybe even create a sim character, or, any kind of hobby that you want to do. We're just going to take 15 minutes and work on it. I really like doing this. I have been building off recording, off camera, and I miss taking 15 minutes and then taking a break and building for 15 minutes and then taking a break, because I miss stuff. I like forget certain things that I'm doing, or I forget that, oh, the build needs lights, or oh, the windows need curtains, or oh my gosh, the toilet needs to have toilet paper next to it. Just dumb stuff like that. Or mirrors. I think in the last one I did, I forgot mirrors in every bathroom. So it's just like little embarrassing things like that, that when you build for like 3 hours, just, you get too caught up in what you're doing. So it's good to take breaks. That's the lesson for today. It's good to take breaks. Mostly today I'm going to talk about my other Sims series, my Not So Berry Challenge. So it'll be less about lessons today and more about just me gushing about my Sim characters. But first thing I did in the build was put a nice sign on the building. I was looking at it and I just thought, the drink with the tea logo is like nice, it's like bar vibes, but it's not really like this bar's vibes, if you know what I'm saying. I just feel like my build has turned out to be a little bit more classy than like, yo, this is a bar. I feel like it's more like a nice event venue, like you'd come here for like a graduation dinner or a wedding or something like that. Obviously you don't have to, but that's how I play. I think it's fun to match whatever, like to go and do something to celebrate a milestone of my Sim's life that like matches their vibe. So it's turned into a more classy joint, so I wanted a more classy sign, and I think I chose a good one. That looks nice. Today for the build video, I'm going to focus mostly on terrain paint, which is both one of my favorite things to do and one of my least favorite things to do. Just because sometimes it glitches out and like erases it before you're done. But the problem is, I like to have the layout of like where the dirt is going to be so I know what the plants need to cover when I landscape, then just landscape everything and then fill in the terrain paint later. It's just my process. I'm a landscaper in real life, or at least I like went to school for that and trained to do that. But in The Sims, I struggle. The plants just aren't interesting. They don't really fit together the way that real life plants do. And I don't know if it's texture, and I mean it is all a little bit of texture, a little bit of color, a little bit of just small things that are difficult, but I try. I don't do well, but I try, and I'm learning, and I'm getting better, which was the whole thing about last video. But, I digress. I was gonna talk about my Sims and my Not So Berry Challenge. I'm on Generation 8, with my sim Peony, and we're almost done with her portion of the challenge, and we're gonna move on to her son named Basil soon. But Peony and her partner Irie just exchanged vows to get legally married, and I used this build, so I finished it in real life. Spoiler. It's actually how I know there's 13 episodes. So this is episode 8 of 13, in case you weren't aware. But I used it in their wedding, which that episode just came out last week, so go watch it. It's beautiful. Lots of shenanigans happened in that episode before the wedding because I used a mod to assist with certain parts of the marriage that I wanted to happen, but it all worked out. It was beautiful. I used this lot, and guys, spoiler, the outside is gorgeous when I finish it. So, so, so pretty. I love using the trellises. You get like a single trellis that has a rounded top, and some have like little circular windows in them and some don't. But I love mixing and matching them to make little enclosed spaces, and I put a wishing well in there because it's just cute, and I know I keep saying it matches the vibe. What else can I say? It really brings out certain parts of the build that I want to bring out. I want it to be like fantastical, the whimsy of being in an English garden, you know? So I love using the trellises to make enclosed garden spaces, and having it as the backdrop for the wedding ceremony. Beautiful, guys. Beautiful. Like, when I say beautiful, I mean I was watching my Sims get married and I was like, oh my gosh, it's so perfect. So, wedding venue, check. It was great. The other thing that was difficult though was I didn't playtest it before I filmed the episode. So there were certain things that didn't work that I end up putting in this build. So I know episode 13 is going to be me going back in and playtesting it and making all the little adjustments. I also realized that I put a whole bunch of my custom content in the build, and the thing is, when I play with it in my own personal saves and in like my Not So Berry challenge save, I feel like I'm totally okay to use as many packs as I want and all my custom content. But for this channel, I think I want to stick to base game with 2 or 3 other packs, just so that like I can put it on my gallery and people can download it if they so desire. Because it's kind of lame to watch somebody go through the entire process of building something and then be like, oh, there's no reward. We get nothing. We don't get access to the build. We just get to watch you build it. That's all. So the 13th episode is going to be me going in and making it so that it's like the base game and like 2 other packs, and that's all. It'll be great. And then I'll post it on the gallery. So that's my plan for the future of this build and for this channel, and I think it's gonna be really nice. The biggest challenge is doing that from the start. I'm really bad at using all the labels. They have this lovely system where you can just click what packs are available that you can see, and I just forget. So, again, I am still learning, and I will do better in the future. Especially because now I've talked to everybody about it. Man. Oh, the other part of my Sims wedding is that I didn't use the Nectary half because my Sims weren't getting married romantically for romantic reasons. Peony is asexual and aromantic, so she was getting married because A, challenge rules, but B, the excuse I made up for this is that Irie is her best friend and they both wanted to have kids. Neither of them were finding partners that were okay with the way that they wanted that to happen except for each other. So, as besties, they decided to get legally married for all the legal benefits for their kids. So, take it or leave it, I guess. But because it wasn't like a romantic occasion, I'm excited to use it again for Sims that are going to be absolutely head over heels in love with each other, and they can make nectar bottles, have them age, and then pop them open when they're elders, or sell them for their kids to go to college. See, that's what I'm talking about gameplay, you know? That's the part that I love about playing The Sims. And if I don't have character building gameplay like that, I get bored, and then I don't touch the game for like months. But now that I do a channel, I touch it a lot more, which is nice. All of these events that they're doing actually have helped me to like log in more than like once or twice a month. So it's working, Sims. But this latest one for the anniversary of The Sims, the milk carton collectibles are cool, but I don't really want to dress like the crazy guy who reminds me of the Doctor. Not that I hate what the Doctor wears in Doctor Who, but what this guy wears is just not my taste, you know? And I don't know that I've ever made a Sim that has that taste. So maybe that could be a challenge for myself. It's like actually making a Sim that could wear that stuff and it would fit in. Maybe I'll try. I might do that. We'll see. I talked about putting barrels and stuff in, so that's what I'm gonna do in the build now, is putting random different decor things to help build the character of the build. Or in other words, increase the vibe. I really need to figure out something else that I can say. My vocabulary seems to be so limited on this subject. Basically, I feel like having barrels makes it a little bit more realistic. And I've talked about realism before in these videos, and I just think having little pieces of realism scattered throughout the game really helps me enjoy it more. More than making it absolutely realistic and then it's too stressful, or just too much for my computer. That happens sometimes too. You put too much stuff on a lot and all of a sudden it can't save itself. But, like I said, I want to make sure I have plants in like every room. I want to make sure I have different on-theme items like nectary barrels, or planters, or tables with plants on them. Things like that. I just think add so much to the build and make it more pleasant to play in, you know? It makes you want to take your Sim there instead of getting a call from your Sim's friend and being like, hey, we're going out tonight, and it's like, no. But mostly I want a lot of nice places to go to for my next generation Sim because they have to say yes to all their invites from their friends. So my goal is to just make nice builds that I actually want to go to, which will be nice. Yeah, so everything about this build turns out beautiful, just so you guys know. And right now, it is slowly getting there, step by step along the way, 15 minutes at a time. So thank you all for joining me. I know my videos kind of vary from like 15 to 18 minutes or like 12 to 15 minutes. So I guess 12 to 18 minutes. But it's because, you know, it doesn't have to be 15 minutes exactly. And the nature of these videos is it's never gonna be 15 minutes exactly. So don't let it bother you too much if it does bother you. Thanks guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.